Good evening, everyone. Hello, hello. My name is Audrey, and welcome to my 100 Days of Watercolor Mindfulness, where in each session I'm just painting something, and sometimes it's inspired by, that day's events or just how I'm feeling, or yeah. But the most important thing is that I'm not dwelling on the results, and I'm just really enjoying the process of painting. Today, I'm actually kind of excited because I'm going to be painting on the cosmos flower, and I have a story to tell you about that in a little bit. But today is the day that I'm going to try to paint with gouache. Oh my, okay. I'm already like regretting that I've said it now and now that it's out there. But I have this set of gouache from Lucas, and Lucas is actually the same brand of watercolor that I use, and both the brand you can find at Jerry's Artorama. Let me go ahead and open this. I'm already like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so I do have a Stay Wet palette. So if you don't know, gouache, once it's dried, you can reactivate it with water, but the consistency might be a little bit different. And so I didn't want to try to use the Stay Wet palette tonight. The Stay Wet palette helps keep the paints moist. So anyway, so I didn't want to attempt using that tonight. So today I'm just going to try just squeezing it out onto a ceramic palette and just see where it goes. Yeah. Hi Keith, hi Linda. Thank you so much for joining, you guys. I really appreciate all of you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you don't know, this is the little heart motion, and it's really popular in Korean, and I'm Korean. Speaking of Korea, so the cosmos flower, let me show you the inspiration for photo for today. Ta-da! So this photo is from Unsplash, and that's a royalty-free website. But as you can see, the cosmos flower it looks like a wildflower. I mean, it is a wildflower, but it grows in like fields like this. It grows pretty wild. It's usually a summer type of flower, and yeah, it comes in all sorts of colors. I mean, you see mostly whites and pinks and dark magentas here, but there's also like orange, purples, yellows, etc. So anyway, the cosmos flower is actually very personal for me, and this month being AAPI month, I didn't really get to talk more about my heritage, even though I wanted to, but maybe I will now. So if you didn't know, I was actually born in South Korea, and I lived there until I was 6 years old, and then my family decided to move out so that my parents could pursue other things, and we were just part of the family and went along. And then we eventually ended up in the US in the early 90s. But anyway, I was born in South Korea. And one of the things that I remember from my childhood, I remember maybe like 12 very distinct memories, right? But one of them was that we lived in an apartment building, and in Seoul, the capital of South Korea, a lot of people live in like sky high apartment buildings. We're talking like 30 to 40 floors per apartment building. It's very common. And I remember the apartment building that we lived at was at the bottom of like a very steep and rocky hill, and around the apartment building were fields of these cosmos flowers. And I just remember, and I don't know, exactly how old I was and whatever, but I remember just, frolicking in the cosmos field, for lack of a better word, and just admiring the colors, just having fun. Like, yeah, that's all I remember. Maybe it was a dream. I don't think it was a dream. I think it was real, because whenever I tell my parents about it, or when I ask them, hey, did we ever live in an apartment building at the bottom of a really steep hill, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, yeah, how do you remember that? So I know it was a real memory. But anyway, so that's why this flower is extra special to me, and I'm really excited to paint it. But then I wanted to go ahead and challenge myself and paint with gouache. So I don't know what I'm doing tonight. So if you see me struggling, yeah, you'll know why. Oh, and then Aslan has entered the room. I think I'm still gonna paint the background, the purple. I mean, not the purple, the green. I think I'm gonna paint the green with watercolor though, and then I think I'm gonna use gouache then to paint the flowers because I really didn't want to mask. Using the masking fluid, all those tiny little flowers, I felt like it would be too much. So, yeah, wish me luck. Seriously, if you see me struggling, like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I don't know why I decided to challenge myself like this, but we'll see. Okay, let me catch up on your comments real quick. Sorry. Oh, hi, Esther. Thanks so much for joining. Hi, Linda. Thank you. Oh, Keith, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate your comments saying that it's fun when I tell little bits about myself. I totally agree. I think it's important, especially when you're following like people and, you do like their tutorials or you like their, artwork. But I think you ultimately follow people because you like the person, themselves, And so I thank you for encouraging me and allowing me to share bits about myself. And I'm glad you like it. Okay, hello. Thanks so much for coming. Okay, so yeah, wish me luck. Oh my God, my friends know that I tend to like pull on my hair like this when I get really nervous. And then my other thing, if I get really, really nervous, I cover my eyes like this. It's a really weird quirk, I know, but that's just a thing that I do. Also, I know Aslan is like going crazy in the background. I got a order in and it came with, those brown paper bag stuff, and he loves playing on it. So just ignore him. Okay, here we go. Let's do our breathing exercise just so I can ready myself, and so you can ready yourself too. Here we go. Thank you everyone for joining. Hi Karen, welcome. I really appreciate you guys saying hi. So let's get started. Here's the geraniums from yesterday. Like I said, I'm going to start with the watercolor background and then go into the gouache. And if you see me struggling over here in the corner, I'll try to pop in and out, with my thoughts. But I hope you have a wonderful painting or creative session or whatever you're doing tonight. Let's do it with mindfulness. Here we go. Actually, I'm going to change the key music. I think I'm going to go back to that other soft piano music. Esther, I just saw your comment about how you're carving clay today. That's so cool. Everyone, if you didn't know, Esther is actually also a top teacher on Skillshare. That's how we know each other, only virtually though. I really wish that we could like all meet each other in person and just have like one giant creative party together. But anyway, she does wonderful digital art. So if you've ever wanted to try that out, check out her channel, check out her classes. And yeah, thanks so much for being here, Esther. Just wanted to say hi. Okay, hi everyone. So, just a quick update on how I'm doing. Also, I just caught up with the chat, so thank you guys. You guys are too sweet. um, oh, Keith, I didn't know you were painting too. So, yeah, I would love to see what you're working on. Um, uh, Thank you. I really appreciate you guys just kind of like rooting me on and watching me paint. I really appreciate it. Um, okay, so I feel like, again, this is my first time painting with gouache, and I don't know, you guys. I'm not looking for like sympathy comments or anything like that, but I'm definitely struggling. I think what I'm struggling first with is that I didn't um I don't know. I don't think I used too much water. I really tried not to. But I feel like the the pinks or the flower, I'm losing my words because I'm so like flabbergasted, but I feel like the paints are not as bright as I would hope was hoping them to be. Like the pinks are just kind of dull, right? Am I the only one that's seeing that? And I tried adding more white to the paint, but even then, like, I don't know, maybe I'll just paint with like straight up white or something, but I just feel like it's just not as, maybe it's not as opaque, maybe it's not as, I don't know what's wrong with it. Maybe I shouldn't have done a watercolor underpainting, but that makes no sense because, watercolor is not opaque and gouache is, and so it shouldn't really matter. It should be able to cover it up completely. But I feel like maybe, and I hate to say that the Lucas brand is not up to par, but I feel like maybe it's not, because I remember using my Holbein gouache, and maybe I should have used that tonight, but my Holbein gouache did not have any issues with the brightness. And so I'm just a little bit disappointed, not in the way that I painted this. I feel like I really like how I painted it, and painting with gouache is actually like a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. So I can anticipate myself doing more of this, but I think I'm just a little disappointed in the lack of, I don't know, brightness or something. Like there's just something missing. It just feels a little dull to me. And so I don't know. I almost want to like redo this after tonight's live stream and see if it looks any better. Um, yeah, I totally agree that. Oh, Linda, I see your. Yeah, absolutely. It is a learning process, right? So I'm not like, downing, like down on myself or whatever. I'm just saying that, yeah, it's definitely a learning process. I don't think that these are as bright as I was hoping. So again, like I think I'll try to, fix it where I can, or try to add more highlights wherever I can. Also, I didn't realize like how much I would be using the white. And no wonder why people buy like an extra tube of like just the white, because I'm constantly going through it. But the other problem is like, what am I supposed to do with all this leftover paint? This is what I mean about like, I wish that I like use that Stay White palette or Stay Wet palette, and that way you're not really wasting paint. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Hold on. Let me try to paint this on like a regular sketch, a regular paper, and see if that makes any difference. Like here's the white and the red together. Okay, I mean like that is pretty bright. I don't know, maybe then when it's under or on top of a layer, you know what? Let me try to do a thin layer of this green. Yes, I know this is gouache, but gouache on top of gouache obviously makes sense. Let me dry that real fast. Okay, I think that's dry. Let me try to go over that with that same pink color. Okay, see? No, it's definitely the paint. Like, look how dull. Uh-oh, hold on. Did my video freeze? Uh-oh. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. Let me turn off my camera and come back. Hold on. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but anyway, let me show you what it came out to be. So, like, look, do you see the pink on the regular white? And it's like really bright, right? And then the pink, it's the same consistency on top of the green, and it's like a lot duller, right? Like, I don't know what's up with that. Okay, so it's definitely the paint. And again, I'm pretty disappointed. Let me try to do just white on top of that. Like, I have zero water on it, and as I'm spreading, it's like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's like thinning out just on its own. Okay, I will take a completely dry brush. And just pick up that glob of paint. Yeah, so it's just, I don't know. It could be user error because, like I said, I'm not used to using gouache, but I mean, here are just some random, like, yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe also my camera, you know, freaking out is just a sign that I should stop for tonight. So sorry, no double session tonight, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to redo this maybe with the Holbein gouache and just see how it turns out. So anyway, all that to say, you know, I still enjoy painting tonight. Let me do the paint peel real quick for you. Also, look how dirty my hands are. And then this. I had like globs of paint on my paper towel because the tube, the gouache tubes here, they like maybe they were pressurized or maybe I don't use them that often, but as soon as I took off the cap, it was just like gushing. So I was like, so I had to use my paper towel and my fingers to kind of stop it. But anyway, okay, so there it is. Yeah, it just looks so dull. Like, I don't, I think my idea of, you know, my vision is, yeah, the vision that I had for this painting is, you know, didn't come to be, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm trying to let it go. And, you know, again, like maybe it is user error, maybe it's the product, but all that to say, this is why my project is called 100 Days of Watercolor Mindfulness and not like an actual, you know, 100 days of watercolor flowers or something. Because even with this mistake, even with this, you know, blunder of a situation, like there's still ways to, you know, see the positive and, like Linda said, you know, like learn something from this, or even just being proud that I busted out my gouache and got my hands literally dirty and, you know, just did something new. So I'm definitely proud of that. And that goes the same for you too. You know, so if today you were trying something and it was your first time, or, you know, if you messed up too, you know, it's okay. It happens, you know, and if we're going to be unkind to ourselves because of that, then then who else is going to be kind, you know? So we first have to be kind to ourselves. And so I'm trying to just like let it wash over me and move on, but with the learning points learned. Yeah, I have no words today. Today was also, I'm just going to rant just for like a second because something else happened right before dinner time. My husband was making dinner and I had just received a print order, and I was really excited because it's for a really important client of mine. And 2 of the prints were like done wrong. And it's a very long story, but basically they took I had a front file and a back file, right? And I had to resend the back file, and then they had to reprint it, and they charged me for the extra reprint and whatever. But then they ended up not printing the front and back files. They printed just the new back file I had sent them, and then printed the back file design on both sides of the paper. And I was like, hello? Are you serious? Like, why would you do that? You know, like why? Like it's also a greeting card. Like, so it says like happy birthday on one side. Like, why would you do that same design on both sides? Like, I was so mad. Like, I was like, I don't think I've been this upset like in a very long time. And I was like really like dumbfounded at how they could make such a mistake. And so I wrote this very angry email at them, and I was like, you have to fix this ASAP. Anyway, so that plus this, I just feel like, what is happening, you know? Maybe this is, you know, God's way of being like, calm down, you know, like stuff happens, you know, mistakes happen, other people make mistakes that affect me, and you know, I have to, you know, keep my cool, you know, and that's why I do the breathing exercise too, because I can easily kind of like jump off the deep end. And even though my email was kind of angry, like it was like a professional angry, okay? So professional angry, but yeah, so I don't know what's happening today. Today feels like a Monday with all those things happening, but it's okay. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. Oh my God, Esther, thank you. A quick Photoshop adjustment will help, especially you got the composition down. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I can easily take a photo of this and then just, you know, kind of like tweak it here and there for sure. But like, it's just like part of my sketchbook. So I'm like, you know, every time I see this, but it's okay. I have to remind myself it wasn't me. Hopefully it was just a product, and move on. So anyway, thank you guys. You guys are so sweet. I really didn't mean to rant to be like, you guys got to be on my side. I don't like ranting because of that. It was more just like, you know, in the context of what's happening here, that, you know, bad stuff happens and that's okay. So anyway, thank you for joining me. I feel like this is a very long-winded thing. I don't know why my camera gave out. I will have to look into that. Hopefully I won't have any issues tomorrow, but I will be live tomorrow, pending any camera issues at 8 p.m. I'll update you guys in the community tab if anything happens. But otherwise, expect to see me tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time, and then on Friday at 8 p.m. Central. You know what? Let me still go ahead and like end the painting session. And how I end it is just by breathing in, by washing out my brushes. Like look how opaque this is. This is crazy. Anyway, so breathing in as I wash out, and then breathing out as I blot. So here we go. And then blotting. All right, maybe I won't paint tonight. I will paint tomorrow. And you know what? Actually, maybe I'll paint the same thing tomorrow with the Holbein gouache. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.